Students streamed through the hallway, laughing, talking, shoving books into lockers. But Jay couldn't focus on any of that. His eyes were locked on the backpacks. Abby, the straight-A student who always seemed confident, walked past him. Her backpack glowed softly, but Jay noticed a few dark stones weighing it down. Juliana, the girl who loved art and doodled on every notebook she owned, had a backpack that flickered. Bright one moment, dim the next. Kate, the volleyball star, had a backpack that looked strong and steady, but Jay saw a deep crack running down the side. Juan, the quiet kid who sat in the back of class, carried a backpack so heavy it nearly dragged on the floor. And Becky, the girl who always made everyone laugh, had a backpack full of bright feathers, but also a few stones buried deep at the bottom. Jay soon realized these backpacks, that were somewhat transparent, weren't just for books. They were a reflection of what each person carried inside. Every harsh word tossed in the hallway seemed to drop a heavy stone into someone's backpack, making it harder to carry. But when a kind or encouraging word was spoken, a glowing feather would gently float down, bringing a little more lightness and hope. Jay began to see that everyone's load changed with every interaction, whether anyone else noticed or not. Jay swallowed hard. What was going on? Was he seeing things, or are they real? The hallway, once so ordinary, now felt charged with secrets he was only beginning to understand. He could feel his heart pounding as he watched his classmates move past, each one carrying invisible burdens and flashes of light that only he seemed to notice. A nervous tightness twisted in his stomach. He wondered what his own backpack might look like, what invisible feathers and stones it might hold, placed there by words he'd spoken, and words spoken to him. The realization sent a shiver through him. Was everyone carrying more than they showed on the outside? During Bible class, Mr. Thompson asked everyone to share something encouraging about a classmate. Jay watched the backpacks closely. Abby raised her hand.
I want to say that Juliana's artwork always brightens my day.
A glowing feather floated from Abby's mouth and drifted into Juliana's backpack. The glow inside Juliana brightened instantly. Jay's jaw dropped. He whispered softly,
"No way."
But then Kate muttered under her breath.
Wish she'd brighten her attitude, too.
A stone, dark, heavy shot straight into Juliana's backpack. Her shoulders slumped. Jay felt sick. He had never realized how much words weighed. Between classes, Jay walked with his friends. He tried to act normal, but he couldn't stop staring at the backpacks. Becky bumped into him playfully.
Hey, Jay, you look like you've seen a ghost.
Jay forced a laugh.
Nah, just tired.
But then he saw Juan walking alone. Someone behind Jay whispered loudly,
"There goes Mr. Silent Treatment."
A stone slammed into Juan's backpack so hard Jay flinched. Without thinking, Jay added,
Yeah, dude never talks.
Another stone dropped, this one from Jay's own mouth. Juan's backpack sagged lower. Jay froze.
I did that.
He whispered.
I added that weight.
That night, the school gym buzzed with noise. The girls' basketball team was playing and the bleachers were packed. Jay sat near the top row, still shaken by what he'd seen all day. During halftime, he noticed Becky sitting alone on the lower bleachers. Her backpack, usually bright, was dim. A few stones rattled inside. Jay walked down slowly.
Hey, you okay?
Becky wiped her eyes quickly.
Yeah, just tired.
Jay sat beside her.
Becky, I don't know what's going on, but I've seen you lift up so many people. You make this school brighter, and I just want you to know you matter. A lot.
A feather, warm, golden, almost glowing, floated from Jay's mouth and drifted into Becky's backpack. The glow inside her brightened. Her breathing steadied. She whispered,
Thanks, Jay. I needed that more than you know.
Jay felt something warm rise inside him. He hadn't lost anything by giving joy. He had gained something. The very next morning, Jay found Mr. Thompson before class.
Sir, I need to talk to you. I'm seeing backpacks, glowing ones, with stones and feathers, and my words. They're doing something to them.
Mr. Thompson didn't look surprised. He closed his Bible gently.
Jay, the Bible says in James 3 that the tongue is small, but it can set a whole forest on fire, or it can warm a cold heart. Words are powerful. They always have been.
Jay swallowed.
But why am I seeing this now?
Because God is teaching you something.
Mr. Thompson said.
When you give someone joy, you're not giving away your own. You're planting it. You're building something that will come back to you when you need it most. That's what I call a joy maker.
Jay whispered.
A joy maker.
Thompson nodded.
Whenever you speak words of kindness, help someone out, or lift their spirits, you're setting joy in motion. The amazing thing is, when you give joy to someone with your words, that joy doesn't stop with them. It inspires them to share joy with someone else. Maybe they say something encouraging to a friend who needs it, or help another person feel seen and valued. That spark of happiness keeps traveling, and as it circles through our lives and friendships, it eventually finds its way back to you, often just when you need it most. By giving out joy freely through what you say and do, you help create a circle of joy that grows stronger with each act of kindness. In this way, you're not just helping others, you're also building your own joy maker, one that fills your life with unexpected moments of happiness when you least expect it.
Jay made a decision that day. He found Juan at his locker.
Hey, I'm sorry for what I said yesterday. You're quiet, yeah, but you're also steady, and I respect that.
A feather floated into Juan's backpack. Juan looked up, surprised.
Thanks, Jay.
Jay found Kate in the gym.
You played great last night. You always give your best.
A feather drifted into Kate's backpack, sealing the crack he'd seen earlier. He told Abby,
I admire how hard you work. You make people around you better.
He told Juliana,
Your art really does brighten the school.
Feathers floated everywhere Jay went, and something incredible happened. Jay's own backpack began to glow brighter and brighter. He was building his joy maker. But joy makers don't stop hard days from coming. A week later, someone started a rumor about Jay, something untrue, but painful. Stones dropped into his backpack one after another. Jay felt crushed. He walked to the gym during lunch and sat on the bleachers, head down. His backpack, once glowing, dimmed under the weight. Joy makers bring hope and comfort, but they can't prevent difficult days. Even surrounded by kindness, challenges arise, and laughter fades when trouble appears. In tough times, the strength of joy and our relationships are truly tested, reminding us that light can't always keep out darkness. A week later, an untrue and painful rumor about Jay spread. Friends became distant and classmates looked at him with suspicion. Despite trying to block out the gossip, Jay couldn't avoid it. Jay felt devastated as the rumor shattered his confidence. Every step grew heavier, and support from friends faded beneath the weight of isolation. Jay's backpack faded as he struggled, and the feathers, once bright, lost their shine. He doubted whether his joy maker could endure the darkness, fearing the glow might vanish forever. Yet, a subtle warmth remained. Showing joy was not lost. Jay stood alone in the quiet hallway of Berean Christian School, the weight of the rumor pressing down on him like a stack of stones. His backpack, once glowing with feathers, now dimmed under the heaviness of hurtful words he never deserved. He lowered his head, trying to steady his breathing. Then he heard footsteps. Not one pair. Several. They echoed softly, almost cautiously, as if the people approaching cared about not startling him. Jay lifted his eyes, blinking back tears. Standing before him was a small circle of familiar faces: Abby, Juliana, Kate, Juan, and Becky. Each one carried a glowing backpack, brighter than he had ever seen them. They stepped closer, forming a gentle ring around him, not trapping him, but sheltering him. Becky knelt first, her voice warm and steady.
Jay, you were there for me when I was pretending everything was fine. That night in the gym, I was falling apart inside. Your words didn't just help me, they stopped me from sinking deeper. And Jay, you're one of the most genuinely kind people I know. You notice people, you care. That's rare.
A glowing feather drifted from her lips into Jay's backpack. Juan stepped forward next, his voice quiet but firm.
People don't usually notice me. I'm the quiet kid. I've always been the quiet kid. But you saw me, Jay. You apologized when you didn't have to, and you told me you respected me. No one's ever said that to me before. And Jay, you're honest. You don't pretend. You say what's real, and that means something to someone like me.
Another feather floated into Jay's backpack, soft and warm. Kate knelt beside Becky, her athletic confidence softened by sincerity.
I push myself hard, sometimes too hard. People think I'm strong, but they don't see the pressure I put on myself. When you told me I always give my best, Jay, that meant more than you know. And honestly, you're one of the most encouraging people on this team, even though you're not on the roster. You lift people up without even trying.
A bright feather drifted from her mouth into Jay's backpack, sealing cracks he didn't even know were there. Abby stepped forward, her voice trembling slightly.
I'm the straight A student, the one who's supposed to have it all together. But sometimes I feel like I'm only as good as my last grade. When you told me I make people better, Jay, that was the first time someone saw me as more than my report card. And Jay, you're steady. You don't get caught up in drama. You're the kind of person people can trust.
Her feather glowed with a soft, steady light as it floated into Jay's backpack. Finally, Juliana approached, her eyes shining.
Jay, I've always loved art, but I never thought anyone noticed. When you said my drawings brighten the school, that changed something in me. It made me want to keep creating. And Jay, you're thoughtful. You see beauty in things other people overlook. That's a gift.
Her feather drifted into Jay's backpack, swirling with color like a painted sunrise. One by one, they placed hands on Jay's shoulders, arms, and back, gentle touches, warm smiles, quiet support. Not rushed, not forced, just real. Becky spoke again, her voice soft but strong.
You matter more than you know, Jay. And you're not alone.
The others echoed her words.
We're here for you.
You lifted us, now let us lift you.
You gave us joy. Let us give it back.
You're a good friend, Jay. You make the school better.
Feathers, bright, warm, glowing, floated from each friend's lips, drifting into Jay's backpack until it glowed brighter than ever before. The heaviness lifted, the dimness faded, the warmth returned. Jay felt tears rise, not from pain but from gratitude. The joy he had given away had come back to him multiplied. The circle of friends around him wasn't an accident. It wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was the joy maker he had been building, one sincere word, one lifted heart, one feather at a time. And now, when he needed it most, it returned to him in full. Jay looked around. Every person carried a backpack. Every backpack carried words, and every word carried weight. He whispered to himself, "Joy given is joy planted. Joy planted is joy returned. I'm going to make my own joy maker."
Make Your Own Joy Maker, a poem. I spoke to a friend when fear was near. Stood close to him to calm his fear. My words became the joy he needs, a gift that became a planted seed. He walked with brighter eyes, found courage on the rise. My words became the spark that lit his way, a bright dawn upon the darkest day. Then one day, my heart felt weak. He came returning, joy that I seek. His words flowed to lift my weary soul. The joy I have made in him has made me whole